Good evening. Welcome to the Township Committee meeting of January the 8th of 2019. Ms. Bork, will you please call the roll?
Committeewoman Holmes.
Here.
Committeeman Lapani.
Here.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Mayor Delcor.
Here.
Administrator Ferreira.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here.
Please join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on January the 8th, 2019. First order of business is approval of minutes. We have the approval of the December 11th, 2018 regular meeting minutes. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor. Second.
Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Abstain?
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Delcor.
Yes. We'll move to reports from committee liaisons and receipt of reports, petitions, or commissions. First up, Committeewoman Holmes.
Good evening. January is Radon Awareness Month. Free radon test kits are available. The local health departments in Somerset County, Greater Somerset Public Health Partnership, have agreed to designate January as Radon Action Month. Radon is a colorless, odorless gas that can be emitted from naturally occurring rocks and soil that contain uranium and radon. The Hillsborough Health Department will continue to distribute free radon test kits to Hillsborough Township residents on a first-come, first-served basis. Residents can call the Health Department at 908-369-5652 or stop in the Health Department between 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. to get a kit. Please see further information on the health website. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Committeeman Lapani.
Thank you, Mayor. Beginning of the year, it's always a little crazy for us running around from the beginning of all the new boards and commissions that are started, swearing all the new members in, as my fellow committee members can attest. But I'd always like to thank those volunteers, because without those people, we can't do what we do here. So thank you. Our recent ones were Open Space, Economic and Business Development Commission, and the Board of Health. And there's more to follow over the next few weeks. But again, thank you to all our volunteers, and we desperately need you. From the Building Department, just a reminder, this is an ongoing PSA that they are extending or continuing the amnesty program through January 31st. This program is will excuse residents and business owners for getting penalized for having open permits or having previously done work without permits or failing to attain a certificate of occupancy and or have an expired temporary certificate of occupancy. So this would be your time, obviously, to make things right without a cost of a penalty, and just the normal fees would apply for the permits that you would normally apply for. So again, that would be to the end of the month. From the Finance Department, it's time to renew your dog license for all your pet owners out there. You have to renew them by the March 1st deadline, or there will be a late fee. So again, March 1st for your dog licenses. And from our business advocate and the HBA, we've had some discussion about this before, about our new our website that's been improved, which is www.hillsboroughbusiness.org. It's that place that you would go to put anything that you want cost-free. Promote your company, any coupons or whatever you want to promote it's there. You can update your business profile if there's any new hirings or you need a hire. You want to promote an event you want to have, just go there. It's all free of charge. Also, if you want to stop, we want to remind you that the Shop Hillsborough front, there's been improvements made to this program. The FinCredit, who is the administrator of this program, which we've been very successful, are switching from the old credit card swipe terminal to the 21st century Android device. For those who are techie enough, this will allow you to just tap with a QR code from your phone onto this Android, and then it would download automatically your receipt, so it would be a paperless, and then be able to track via website where your dollars are instantly, so you won't have to have paper. So if you have any questions or how to download that QR code to your phone, go to www.hillsboroughbusiness.org and follow the directions for the QR code down to your smartphone. This new system, again, is totally paperless, therefore a receipt will not longer be sent. It will be emailed directly to your phone, and you can always check your balance at www.propertytaxcard.com. So again, going into the 21st century in a paperless environment. From the engineering department, one last thing, Mayor. Little stat from them. There are 530 lane miles of roadways and 115 miles of sidewalks that are maintained by Hillsborough Townships DPW. To put that in perspective, and I know that well, that's enough to get you from here to South Carolina. Not that we're advocating you leaving to South Carolina. Right, Senator? We want to keep you here. But just to give you a scope of how much road and sidewalk there is in this town to maintain. If the engineering department works with Public Works to identify roads that need repair, to report a pothole, please notify the Public Works Department, not engineering, at 369-3950. That's 369-3950. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeewoman Macaulay.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I unfortunately had missed the reorganization meeting due to flu. Yeah, I know, it wasn't fun, but I apologize for that. But I did want to take a minute and just say congratulations to you for being appointed mayor this year, along with Deputy Mayor Thompson, and of course, the welcoming of Sean LaPanny, Committeeman and Committeewoman Olivia Holmes as well. So I, again, apologize I couldn't be here. You know how troublesome that is for me. I hate to miss things.
Glad you're feeling
But I'm
better.
back now, thank you. And I just wanted to say congratulations to all of you. Looking forward to 2019. And from the police department, the chief and the rest of the staff there wants to make sure that we remind you to use the safety tips as we approach the winter months. Obviously, roads get slippery and wet, and the New Jersey law requires all snow and ice be removed from your vehicles before you leave your residences, windows and roofs before driving, as that can obviously endanger someone else behind you. For safety, drive slow and adjust your speeds in the changing conditions. Unfortunately, I hope, Doug, you don't mind that you had a quick little accident right before you got here. There's some slick conditions and roadways, and just the key is paying attention, obviously. Give your snowplows and sand vehicles plenty of space, as they might not see you, although you see them. You may find a quick moment that you might want to get around them. Obviously, that's not a good idea. So just wanted to make sure that you do pay attention out there, especially in the winter months and the kind of roadways that we have coming up. Quick reminder also, the Township Code Chapter 143-21 prohibits parking on snow-plowed and snow-covered roads. We do need to get through safely with our plows to make sure that we can get the snow off the roads as quick as possible. So when anticipated, use off-street parking as an alternative, and the vehicles are subject to summonses and the potential of being towed at the owner's expense if they are caught there on the snow-covered roads. From DPW, the leaf collection program has concluded. Roughly 10,000 cubic yards of leaves were vacuumed throughout the town. I don't know how they measure that to this day, but it's pretty amazing how they do that. And we are so blessed to have local farmers who take in this product to use as soil amendment for their crops. So it's quite an amazing recycling program that we have here in town. Public Works is also actively engaged in filling potholes around the township. You had noticed that Sean LaPanny had also mentioned. We do get to them eventually. I know sometimes you keep going over that same pothole every day going, oh my God. We will get to it. We usually get to the higher speed and more traveled roads before the rest, obviously, so we can get most of the potholes filled in for safety reasons. Please visit our township website, as always, for valuable information regarding the online coupons for the Township Cleanup Program. Residents will be able to obtain their coupons starting March 1st. And again, just a reminder, there's Outstanding Women Nomination Awards. The deadline is extended until Monday, January 14th. If you know a Somerset County woman that has made extraordinary contributions to her career or community, please feel free to reach out to us, or I think it's online on the e-news as well, so you'll have more information there. I just wanted to mention a couple of the categories that might make it easier for you to think of someone off the top of your head. You can go into the categories of arts, entertainment, sports and business, entrepreneurship, information technology, education, environmental initiatives, government, public, social service, hometown hero, along those lines, in case it gives you a couple thoughts, may trigger someone that you are thinking of. So again, see our e-news or reach out to the front office. We can get you the information if you do have someone in mind. And that's it for me this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Glad you're back, feeling better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Couple things. We had the reorganizational meeting of the Sustainable Committee here in Hillsborough last night. Although Chris Abrupta will be named later on in the agenda as chair, he was selected as chair, or renominated also at the meeting last night. Sam Connard will be serving as vice chair, and Ann Harris will be serving as the board's corresponding secretary. Also, last night I attended the Board of Education's reorganization meeting. I want to congratulate Judy Haas and as being sworn as president, and Lorraine Cezanne being sworn in as the vice president of the committee. Also, congratulations to Jane Statz, Lisa Maroon, and Chris Abrupta for being sworn in to 3-year terms, and Joyce Etheridge Howard being sworn in for a 1-year term on the Board of Education. And also to, I think there was like 500 members of the Hillsborough Education Association who attended the meeting last night as well. So it was a very well-attended meeting. On behalf of the health, for those owners who have pet needs, an updated rabies vaccine is in order to renew. Hillsborough's having their free rabies clinic on January 26th from 10 to noon. If your pet cannot be vaccinated due to medical reasons, please provide us with a note from your vet so we can issue the renewal. The annual free rabies vaccination clinic is going to be held on Saturday, January 26th at the Hillsborough Township Department of Public Works Yard, located at 21 East Mountain Road. That's next to the YMCA. No pre-registration is necessary for that event. Dogs must be leashed and cats must be in a secure carrier. While it may seem early, softball registration is currently open for both spring soccer and spring girls softball leagues. Please register today, as leagues may reach max capacity prior to the deadlines, so go on the website as soon as possible. Hillsborough Township is also partnering with Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital Somerset and hosting a blood drive on Thursday, January 17th from 2 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Peter J. Biondi Municipal Building right here. All donors will receive a free T-shirt, so that's more than enough reason. See the e-news for all the details on that as well. Also, Operation Secure Shred, the free document shredding program for Somerset County residents, continues Saturday, January 19th at the North County Public Works Garage located at 411 Chimney Rock Road in Bridgewater. The Somerset County Board of Freeholders and the county's Public Works Department invite residents to take advantage of the drop-off program for easy, no-hassle shredding of all your personal documents. Properly disposing of personal documents is a necessary step in safeguarding and protecting your personal information from credit card and identity theft. Those events are happening from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., rain or shine, or until the trucks are filled with capacity. Proof of residency is required for that event, or valid lease, tax bill, or other way to show that you are from the county. Additional shredding opportunities for 2019 will be announced as the year goes on. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just a couple items from me tonight. As I had mentioned during my reorganization speech last week, we really are committed to ensuring that the public has great access to the jewel of our towns, which are our parks and recreation facilities. And our latest enhancement includes a sidewalk between Woodfield Estates Residential Development and Ann Van Middlesworth Park. For those of you that may be familiar, there was not really a walkway there to get to the entrance of the park. So our local team here did a great job. The original metal fence has been replaced with a new retention wall, and trees have been planted to make the area more beautifully landscaped. A mulch picnic area is also available and overlooks a small stream next to the basketball courts that we upgraded about a year ago as well. And additionally, we have a new aluminum 65-seat bleacher, which was installed by the basketball courts at the park there. And the new bleacher also includes 4 wheelchair accessible spots so that all spectators can join in supporting our athletes and enjoying the events that take place there at the park. So thanks to our Parks and Recreation team for the great work in getting that done. The Lewis Bay Scholarship. Hillsborough Township, along with the Hillsborough School District, are partnering so Hillsborough students can participate in the Lewis Bay II Future Municipal Leaders Scholarship Competition. The purpose of this scholarship program is to advance the virtues of elected and volunteer positions in municipal government while raising awareness of municipal government in general. The scholarship competition will offer up to 3 $1,000 scholarships statewide. The deadline for applications is March the 19th of 2019, and completed applications need to be sent to Hillsborough Township, to the mayor's office. Information regarding the scholarship opportunity can be found on the Naviance program that's utilized by the school district and in the township email, e-news on Friday this coming week. In addition, information can be found at the guidance office at the high school. So anyone that wants to participate in the scholarship opportunity, please make sure you pick up your the information and get your application in by the 19th of March. A reminder to save the date for the annual Hillsborough Community Night at the New Jersey Devils. This event is being co-hosted by the PBA Local 205 as a fundraiser for the Special Olympics of New Jersey and the family of late Sergeant Wacker, an officer here in town that died very, very early in his life a few years ago. It will be held on Friday, March the 1st, and be sure to check out the upcoming e-news with all the details on how to purchase tickets. But we certainly welcome participation. It's a really great event. They do acknowledge the town being there, and it's always fun to get out and watch the Devils. And so come on out and support
That
the
depends
town.
if you're a Devils fan, Mayor.
What's that?
That depends if you're a Devils fan.
Well,
All right, my Flyers are in last
I
place.
can't. So I'm going to let him go. Anthony's a Flyer fan, so we'll let him go. But we're all going to root for the Devils. So stay connected. As always, you can stay connected with all events and more via the Friday e-newsletter, which comes out. If you don't have access to or you're not signed up for it, please let us know. There should be sign-up forms in the back. If not, just stop in the office. We'll make sure you get signed up. All the local town information comes out on our Friday e-newsletter. We also do have a Twitter account, and our TV 29 and Hillsborough YouTube channel showcase our meetings and Hillsborough The Good Life episodes. You can also sign up for Swift Reach 911, which gives you traffic and emergency notifications. So lots of ways to stay connected here and make sure you don't miss anything. So that's it for me. We're going to move on to our proclamations. Was everything okay?
Sorry, I didn't.
Okay. So we're going to move on to our proclamations. I'll call you up individually for the proclamations. We ask that as you receive your recognition, please return to your seat. We will pause after all the recognitions are done to allow for departure if that works. So first up, I'd like to call up Father Sean Broderick. People here for you. Father Sean Broderick, a spiritual father for 53 years, retired on October 31st, 2018, after 14 years of dedicated service to Mary, Mother of God Parish. Father Sean was born and raised in the Republic of Ireland and ordained a Holy Ghost priest for the missions in Africa. He returned to Ireland after 20 years to be an educator and later became president of the Rockwell College in Tipperary. In 2004, Father Sean transferred to Mary Mother of God Parish as the assistant to the pastor and ultimately became the administrator of the parish in 2007. During his tenure as administrator, Father Sean initiated the redesign and renovation of the church, continued the highly successful CYO programs, supported programs for Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts, and provided 12 years of religious education for catechists within the Mary Mother of God parish community. Father Sean authorized and implemented the Virtuous Program for all teachers and Mary Mother of God church personnel to ensure the children of the parish are protected and taught in a safe environment. Father Sean has generously opened the church parking lot to the Triangle Elementary School buses and the church hall for senior citizens events. He's also established a video system for transmitting the Sunday morning Mass to the township nursing and assisted living homes. He has encouraged and participated in the Interfaith Hospitality Network that helps homeless families get back on their feet. Father Sean has also been one of our Hillsborough Police chaplains for 10 years. The Hillsborough Township Committee are thankful and appreciative for the selfless dedication Father Sean Broderick has shown as the administrator of Mary Mother of God Church and in the community of Hillsborough. The Hillsborough Township Committee, along with his numerous colleagues and parishioners, thank Father Sean for his valuable contributions to Hillsborough Township, and we wish him very well in his future endeavors.
I'm really honored to get this proclamation here from the Hillsborough Township. And it has been such a wonderful pleasure for me over the past 15 years to serve the people of Mary Mother of God and the wider township of Hillsborough. It has been especially important to me that we instituted a home for our Latino community, that they could share with us as part of our community at Mary Mother of God, and they've been such a tremendous asset to us. I'd also especially like to thank the township for the number of times I came here to get permits and planning board. They always told me it was a very tough place to come, but I always found great accommodation here, and I'm very thankful for that. I also especially am glad to have been the chaplain to the police force, and particularly to have been the speaker for them for the Hillsborough Police at the cathedral in Metuchen on the Blue Mass Sunday, or day, where we had the Mass for our police. It has been to me a wonderful experience to be here in Hillsborough, and I presume that since I haven't gone away since I've retired, it is to me a tremendous pleasure to remain here and to thank the good people of Hillsborough for this proclamation. Thank you.
Sorry about that. First of all, congratulations. I have a Senate resolution coming. We have not been in session. So we go back next week, actually, the governor gives his state of the state, and I will have a copy, I will have the original one there. So I'm going to get it, bring it to you, and deliver it to you. But it basically says all the great things that the proclamation here said about you. And I just want to congratulate you and thank you for your wonderful service. You've meant so much to so many people, in particular the Latino community. And we thank you for that. We thank you for your years as police chaplain and for the difference that you've made in so many people's lives. And so, I know that you're not really retiring because I know you're still going to be very active, but we wanted to thank you. I worship at North Branch Reformed Church, but I hear so much about you, and everybody speaks so enthusiastically about you, and they say such wonderful things about you, and now I see why. So congratulations, enjoy the next part of your life, and I will be hand delivering that to you as soon as I get it.
Okay, I'd like to call up Anisha Gademski. Anisha Gademski, a junior at Hillsborough High School and a member of Girl Scout Troop 60365, has earned her Gold Award. Anisha's Gold Award project involved creating a senior prom for the Foothill Acres Nursing Home in the hope of helping the residents relive their younger days and provide a night they would remember and enjoy. The residents were provided with boutonnieres, food, dessert, and music. A prom king and queen were announced, and the project took 92 and a half hours of preparation. Anisha is a member of the National Honor Society, the French Honor Society, and is on the Hillsborough High School softball team and participates in travel softball. She also tutors children, volunteers at softball clinics, and in the gift shop at Foothill Acres. The Hillsborough Township Committee extends its sincere congratulations to Anisha for having earned her Girl Scout Gold Award, an honor for both her and those who have guided her, and we wish her the best in all her future endeavors.
Grateful for the opportunity I got to complete my Gold Award project, and I've learned a lot with it. Thank you so much for the recognition.
It's funny. I haven't had the opportunity in the last couple of years. We've all been able to do these for Gold Awards and Eagle Scouts. I'm always amazed at the ideas that these wonderful kids come up with to support the community, and that's an incredible project, and thank you very much for that. Okay, at this time we're going to do an award for the Patriots Penn Scholarship Award. I'd like to call up Tom Solili and Joe Trapolsky, principal at the middle school. So originally created as a youth essay contest, the VFW Patriots Penn Youth Scholarship Program asked junior high school and middle school students in grades 6 to 8 to write a 300 to 400 word essay on the new patriotic theme each year. Winners receive scholarships and begin by competing at the local post level. Winners proceed to district, department, and then finally to national level, where they compete for a $5,000 scholarship. The VFW National Commander-in-Chief annually chooses the year's theme. This year's theme was Why I Honor the American Flag. Each entrant is judged upon their knowledge of the theme development, and clarity of ideas. Each local post is responsible for the certain geographic area, and Hillsborough Memorial VFW Post 8371 encompasses the central New Jersey communities of Branchburg, Hillsborough, and Montgomery Townships, and draws contestants from students in each of those communities. An independent judges panel is selected by each post to determine the top 3 finishers at each competition level. So as noted, with us this evening, we have the Hillsborough Middle School principal, Dr. Joseph Trapolsky, who is a real asset in encouraging his student body to participate in the contest. And each contest winner will be awarded a certificate of merit and a cash award. And we also have Tom Solili here. And Tom, your title at the VFW? Post Commander at the VFW. So we're going to start, we have 3 awards to give out tonight. We're going to start with 3rd place. So the following students are awarded the 2018-2019 Patriots Penn Scholarship from VFW Post 8371 and Post Commander Tom Solili. So 3rd place is Amelia Morris, a 7th grade student. She'll win a certificate and a $100 scholarship check. Okay, the 2nd place finish is Anthony Lacastri, an 8th grade student who will also receive a certificate and a $200 scholarship check. And the 1st place winner is Mahadi Salapu, an 8th grade student who will win the certificate and a $300 scholarship check. And finally, we have one last award to give out tonight. I'd like to call up Hillsborough's own Municipal Township Health Director, Dr. Glenn Belnay. So Dr. Belnay has received the New Jersey Municipal Managers Association Award. At the League of Municipalities annual conference, our very own Dr. Belnay was nominated and received the Dr. Thomas J. Davey Academic Achievement Award, which recognizes outstanding educators in the general field of public administration, whether in or out of local government, such as teaching, publishing, training, and lecturing. It's a very prestigious award. The municipal managers, we've had a couple of our Hillsborough employees win awards, but for those of you who don't know, Dr. BELLE has been an unbelievable asset to this township for 40 years? 45. 45. Yeah. So, we are so pleased that he was able to receive this recognition from the New Jersey municipal managers. And thank you very much for your service to the community, and congratulations on this recognition.
Thank you, Bill. It's not like me to be brief or read from a script, but in order to move this along, I would just like to say it's my honor to share with the Township Committee this recognition of academic achievement by the New Jersey Municipal Managers Association. It's the committee's strong and unwavering support of academic excellence that has provided the opportunity for me to study for advanced degrees, to teach and mentor many fine young people from Rutgers in our high school, and to recruit some of our finest employees. My sincere gratitude to all of you and the New Jersey Municipal Managers Association.
That concludes our proclamations and presentations for this evening. We will move on to the regular portion of our agenda. We would love for you to stay, but we understand if you would like to go. We'll take a short break and allow you to head out, especially those proclamation winners. Thank you again, and congratulations to all our recipients this evening. Okay, we are back on the from our break and ready to initiate the meeting again. We're going to move on to new business. Actually, we have no new business this time, so we're going to move to public comment and matters that are not on the agenda. So anyone that has a public comment on a matter not on the agenda, please come forward now. Hello, Ms. Janicek. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. Maria Janusic, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville. I'm also a Hillsborough Township property owner, Block 86, Lot 3, 2155 Champlain Road, jointly with my husband, Walter. Last year, the governing body of Hillsborough purchased Block 86, Lot 21, which was referred to as the Sherman property. And there were reports done by CME Associates in regard to that property. The property was purchased last year for $2,837,500 for the purpose of constructing affordable housing on this property. My property directly borders Block 86, Lot 21. I didn't receive any kind of notices that there were public hearings in regard to the to Hillsborough Township's officials purchasing that property. Were there public hearings held in regard to that purchase?
Believe so.
As an affected property owner, would I have gotten notice of that?
Will it have been through the planning board, right?
It was just
Or no,
a
through,
purchase.
It was a purchase of property, and I believe it was, we have a resolution authorizing the land use attorney to proceed with that.
But it's not, you wouldn't notice for a
We would-
purchase.
there was
It's
no
only
need-
if there was going to be a
a
hearing for
building,
use.
a site
But,
usage.
Yeah, you wouldn't be notified for somebody purchasing a property.
Would
It's if
there-
a usage happens on the property, which there's been no building or anything done to the property yet, so that's when you'd be properly noticed in accordance with the law.
The next thing that was done with that property was that it was determined to be an area in need of rehabilitation. Would that have been something that would have been given notice, a reason to give notice to property owners
Same issue.
adjacent to? So there were no notices, were there any public hearings in regard to the purchase of that property?
I believe there were. I don't recall specifically, but I'm sure there were for the purchase.
for the purchase.
We can
there
give
would
you
have
the
been-
exact meeting times that was taken care of.
I'm sorry, what?
We can give you the exact meeting times that was dealt with.
All right, I would like to, I'm requesting that I get that information. If I need to, I will submit an Oprah request for the dates of those meetings.
Do you know how to do that?
I think so. Okay, that property, Block 86, Lot 21, is one-third wetlands. And wetlands are protected by the state. How is Hillsborough going to construct affordable housing on property that is one-third wetlands? Because according to the CME reports, that is ecologically sensitive property. You've got the Royce Brook over there, and I think there's some connections with the DNR Canal, so that the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection requires there are certain requirements regarding usage of that property. So was any of that confirmed with the Department of Environmental Protection?
So there's no site plan as we sit here today. So no, none of that has been dealt with because there's nothing to seek approval on. But certainly at the time that any type of affordable housing may or may not be built on that, if there's a site plan to do that, all of those permits and requirements would be would have to be in place, just as with any other applicant or any other developer that would be building on any lot in town.
So that was privately owned. Why did Hillsborough buy that, especially when that property, according to the records in Deborah Blaney, tax assessor's office, in her records, that property was assessed, that Block 86, Lot 21, and the other smaller piece, the two pieces purchased, that assessed value was a little over $900,000. Yet Hillsborough's governing body purchased that property for $2,837,000, almost $2 million over the assessed value. Is there a reason why that much money was spent by the township for that for that property?
Well, I'm sure it was all outlined when we actually approved that, so you could certainly go back and look at that in the meeting minutes. I don't recall the specifics of the value, but I can tell you that there is, because of our affordable housing obligations, that if there's a opportunity that we can use this property to solve some of our affordable housing obligations and limit it from other development that may not suit our affordable housing needs, there's certainly value to the township for that.
That parcel of property directly adjoins Manville Borough, and Manville Borough has serious flooding problems. The Royce Brook is on that, runs through that property, and there are wetlands. So was there any consideration given, and were Manville Borough officials contacted that Hillsborough has intentions of building affordable housing on that property, which can then exacerbate the flooding conditions in Manville?
No idea. We can look into that, but I...
So a master plan of a municipality has to be sure that they do not cause harm to an adjoining municipality.
Correct, but there's no site plan today.
There's no site plan, but once you start building, and there's
But we
going to be
can't build without a site
impervious
plan, that's my
surface.
point.
Okay, so, but the intent is to put up affordable housing because that is in the CME reports. So shouldn't Manville Borough's officials have been notified that this was the intent of Hillsborough?
No.
No, no.
It's just as if any other property owner would build on it. So I'm not sure what your intent is there.
Well-
But certainly they'll be advised at some point down the road. But again, there is no site plan. It was just a transfer of the ownership of the property.
There was a sale of.
Correct.
It was a
So,
purchase.
but
a
there's
purchase
no
of that
site
property.
plan to build a thing there yet.
I understand there is no site plan, but there is the intent, the reason for purchasing that, for the township purchasing that property is to build affordable housing. So that is all part of the plan already. And a master plan of a municipality should state that it is not going to cause harm to an adjoining municipality.
So it's not a master plan. That's not part of our master plan. It's part of...
It's not part of a master plan that you cannot cause harm to an adjoining municipality?
No. The
No.
master plan is more of a long-term planning document that's required by municipalities.
But all of that-
But this particular, it doesn't address individual lots and development plans such as this.
Okay.
In the
Except that
cause
when-
harm section, just to be clear, that the causing harm, it had something to do, the causing harm, which you're referring to, which is a requirement if you're building along a border, and I could defer to my counsel to double check that, but that is more, had the intention of, if you were building a landfill or things like that. As you know, and you're well aware, when you build on any property, especially nowadays, you have to contain the water on that property. It's sort of like a net water migration off of it. That's why you see so many retention ponds built whenever there's a site built anywhere in the state now. You have to make sure that the water, regardless of the amount of rainfall, is kept on that property. Obviously, if anything moves forward, that has to be adhered to, and get the proper DNR approvals, and get the approvals from DEP from wetlands, make sure you're 200 yards from a category, feet from a category 1 waterway, all that will be adhered to if anything's built ever on that property.
Okay. But we know for a fact that that property is 1/3 wetlands, and the Royce Brook goes through it, so how are you going to even consider containing that kind of water?
That's why there's a site plan, and they'll have to look into that
And
before
engineering
you could
reports
build on
and
it.
all that.
Also in the CME report, it says that this was determined to be an area in need of rehabilitation, which criteria are that there's sewers that are 50 years old and there's dilapidated buildings. There's none of that on that property.
No, that's not accurate. There's a number of criteria that are required.
I think
and-
those were,
Okay.
so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There are a number of criteria that can be met to deem it in need of redevelopment, and that's outlined in the redevelopment plan.
And I believe that there was mention of the sewers, that there are sewers that are 50 years or close to being 50 years old. I have owned that property since my property since 1973. I still have a septic system. And there are houses on that road, Hillsborough houses, that have septic systems. So when was there a sewer installed there? The only sewers would be for the Manville Borough properties. So is there an intention to connect to Manville sewers? I mean, there are no sewers there.
I'm
So
not sure I
how-
follow your point. So,
The CME reports states that part of the criteria for declaring this an area in need of rehabilitation was that there are old buildings, old sewers. That's part of this on the CME report. And I'm saying, where are those sewers?
You're cherry picking sections of the public law underneath the
No, I'm
area.
not.
Yes, you are. You are absolutely cherry picking parts of the pamphlet law of areas of redevelopment. You're picking certain sections. There's numerous criteria under there.
I
And
understand.
you are mentioning some of them, but there are other criteria that can be mentioned. There's a lot of ands/ors throughout the entire section of the area redevelopment. And while you're mentioning parts of them, there's others, boxes that have been checked for naming an area redevelopment. But you are correct in some areas, but there's other areas that you can mention so you can be an area of redevelopment. That's part of the pamphlet law, and that was done in, I think, 1992 or 3 or 4 or somewhere. I mean, it's been that long since that section's been changed. So I appreciate what you're saying, and you're not wrong in what you're saying, but there's other areas that you can check to make sure that it is an area redevelopment. That's just the law.
Rehabilitation. What I'm saying is the CME report states that there are, for that area, that there are sewers that are 50 years old or almost 50 years old, and that is why that has to be rehabilitated. That is I don't have it with me, so I can't give it to you, but that is in the report that was provided by CME.
It could have said that the area is 50 years old and
No,
untouched. I'm just saying, because that's one of the criteria, it's 50 years untouched. That's part of the criteria in area redevelopment. Or if there is any sewers, or I believe septic is included in that same section of the pamphlet law. So before we
okay.
just start cherry picking, they might have said sewer, that could also apply to septic or the water lines not being replaced for 50-plus years. That's all in that same section of the law.
Okay, well, I'm saying that it's in the CME report.
And I appreciate
you
that
saying
the
that.
sewers are 50 years old or close to it, and that's part of the reason for the area in need of rehabilitation. Also, I had written letters to this governing body last year. First of all, in regard to my case that I had been charged with an alleged zoning violation, not charged, but accused of an alleged zoning violation, and I had asked for records that this body had seen when approval was given for a special zoning prosecutor, and I never received a response from anyone. Last year, I wrote to Mayor McCauley last year, telling that my property records in the tax assessor's office are recorded inaccurately because throughout the years, my property shows 3 units, 3-family. I had a 1982
Ms. Jansen,
revaluation.
with all due respect, we've been through this a dozen times at these meetings.
No. I'm just saying that I wrote letters. I wrote letters.
And you also said no one has responded to you, and
I
we've
wrote-
responded to you at these public meetings at least 4 times.
I wrote letters, not about the inaccurate record in the tax assessor's office. I have records showing 3-family, but in the public record, Ms. Blaney doesn't record the 3 units, but there's a property down the street that's 3 units, that's had 3 different owners, and each time it's recorded as 3 units. So in order to correct this, I had gone to the Somerset County Board of Taxation meetings because it was explained to me that Mr. Vance is the supervisor of the tax assessors, and I brought that issue to the tax board, and I was assured that the recorded information for the public in the tax list in the tax assessor's office here in Hillsborough will be changed to reflect that my property is a 3-family because that's what I've been taxed on. My 1982 revaluation, my 2010 revaluation shows that, but yet no one, on that issue, no one responded to me. Now, I also had an issue with the township administrator, Mr. Ferrera, and I wrote to the police, and I sent copies also to the board here, and no one responded to me. And I think that's...
So I'll respond to you now. Here's the issue. If you're going to allege criminal activity, the prosecutor is in Somerville. By all means, feel free to go talk to him.
Okay.
I'm not taking this on.
So you and the Hillsborough Police refuse to do anything on
No,
this matter?
the police, it's not a police jurisdictional matter.
Fraud is not a police jurisdictional matter?
Correct. That's a Somerset County prosecutor.
Fraud is not a police jurisdictional matter?
It's Somerset County prosecutor.
Okay. So no one here is saying anything? I have to go to the prosecutor on this?
I'm not going to comment on a thing of what you've alleged, other than it's a joke. And you can go talk to the prosecutor.
Excuse me, it's a joke? It's a joke?
Your allegations are a joke.
Or a joke?
Yes.
Okay, and that is also what the police department contends, that it's a joke?
It's not a police jurisdictional matter.
Fraud is a criminal act. Now, in regard to the resolutions, that will be separate for the public to comment on for this meeting, the resolutions?
We haven't
There'll
gotten
be a
to that part
separate
yet.
discussion on those.
Okay, and the claims list at the end also, you'll be hearing from the public?
You'll have plenty of opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep it to comment. Comment.
Any other public comment? Okay. Public hearings, we have none this evening. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, no public hearings. We'll move on to introduction of new ordinances. First up is our first ordinance of the year, 2019-01, which authorizes the acceptance of a deed of dedication for Old Camplain Road right-of-way for the property identified on the Hillsborough tax map at Block 66.01, Lot 2. This is a requirement of the planning board process and has been reviewed and found acceptable by the township attorney. Municipal land use law requires an ordinance to effectuate the acceptance of the property. Can I have a motion?
Second, Mayor.
Comments from the dais? Comments from the floor? Yes.
Victoria Janusik. Can you please explain what that's all about? Because that involves a single-family property also. Is that correct?
It's just the paperwork to transfer the deed of acceptance.
I'm sorry, what?
It's just the process of transferring deeds.
Transferring what deeds? Because
It's outlined in the,
there's a single-family property there, right? And that's zoned I-1 light industrial?
I don't know what the zoning is,
Does anybody have any information on that property?
but it's not relevant to what the zoning is not relevant to the to the matter at hand. Is there something relevant you'd like to
Because
discuss?
Okay, it says here, application number BA 1712 was filed with the Township of Hillsborough Zoning Board of Adjustment for addition of a contractor's facility and continued use of a single-family dwelling. So that single-family dwelling would be a non-conforming use, and where was this contractor's facility added? To the house property? To the single-family dwelling?
I'm sorry, what is your comment? What is your question?
It states here, whereas application number BA 17-12 was filed with the Township of Hillsborough Zoning Board of Adjustment for addition of a contractor's facility and continued use of a single-family dwelling at the property identified on the Hillsborough Township Tax Map as Block 66.01, Lot 2, and more commonly known as 95 Old Champlain Road. So was that contractor's facility added to this single-family dwelling?
I'm not sure.
Mayor, if she wants to get the details regarding that, it's, the board adopted a resolution on January 17, 2008. You can obtain a copy of that resolution.
There you go.
But that's not what this ordinance is doing.
Here we're just, that part of that resolution and part of the board's approval included a dedication. This is just a simple right-of-way dedication. There's nothing more to it. We accept these all the time. It was recommended by the board that that this be part of their application. As far as the application itself, if you have questions about the application itself that was before the board, you can obtain a copy of that resolution.
So I need to get a copy of the application and a copy of the resolution memorializing approval of the application? The
It was for
applica-
it was for a
that the
right-of-way.
application was
for,
approved?
it's for a right-of-way.
It's for a right-of-way.
That's what this is here for. The ordinance is just accepting the deed of dedication for the right-of-way. The application is BA 1712. It was before the Zoning Board of Adjustment. If you want a copy of that application, you can submit a request, and a copy of that application as well as the memorializing resolution approving that application can be provided to you. Therefore, you would know the details of it.
So this right-of-way is where or what?
Old Champlain Road.
Okay, but it's a right-of-way for this
For a
property?
portion of their property, correct. For a portion of their property, they're deeding it to the township for the purposes of Old Champlain Road, yes.
And this right-of-way goes to where?
Just in front of their
Just in
property.
front.
They can't deed us anything more than they own.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes?
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Delcor.
Yes. We'll move on to considerations.
Consent.
Consent agenda, sorry, the consent agenda. A couple of items to note on the consent agenda. First, resolution number 1 is a contract that authorized the township and the YMCA. It's a contract between us for our senior population exercise program. Hillsborough Township and the Y have partnered since 2014 to offer this comprehensive wellness program. We certainly thank the Y for their participation with us and for their outreach to our senior population. I'd also like to note resolution number 3, which is a resolution that renews the shared services agreement for municipal court services between Hillsborough Township and the Borough of Manville. The township has been successful with shared services agreements for court services with both Montgomery and Manville, which offers an economies of scale and taxpayer savings for all 3 municipalities. Shared services agreement are an important part of the fiscal operations and responsible fiscal plan that we have implemented here in town. So with that, I will look for a motion to approve all of the resolutions on the consent agenda. Yes, I will, as I indicated a couple minutes ago. Yes.
I need a motion. So move, Mayor.
Second.
Any comments from the dais? Comments from the floor?
Maria Janusik. On the first resolution, the agreement between the Township of Hillsborough and the Somerset County YMCA. How often are these exercise wellness, what is it, classes, or what is involved in this?
I'm going to ask Administrator Ferreira to outline that because he's been instrumental in working this agreement with the Y.
Thank you, Mayor. Since 2014, we have 5 classes made up of about 40 seniors, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here, starting at 9:30. I believe the last class is 2:30. Part of that, we have, as being a member of the wellness program here in the town, that also offers them free membership at the YMCA up to a certain amount of number of people. So,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
which part didn't you catch?
There's free YMCA membership?
Correct, as long as they have a certain amount of number of classes that they attend and keep up that percentage.
And what is the cost of a membership?
It's free for our seniors here in the
Free
township.
for the seniors, but the township pays for it?
Right, that is correct.
And so what is the cost of a YMCA membership?
It's in the contract. It hasn't gone up in years and years.
About $40 a month.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember the actual number. I have to see it.
21,700.
Thank you.
21,700 total for YMCA memberships for Hillsborough seniors who are
No,
part
that
of
includes
this.
all the classes. They have classes throughout the entire year. So it's 5 classes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's 5 classes with about 200 participants. So the classes are included here in the township, and which also includes their membership at the Y. So if they had to go to additional, if they want to go to a swim class or something like that, they have to pay additional.
All of that is covered by the township.
That is correct.
Okay. And regarding the resolution for the shared services agreement for the shared municipal court between the Township of Hillsborough and the Borough of Manville, how does it work as far as how the judge is paid by Manville? Is there a separate, because I know that you have a resolution showing how much...
There is no judge in Manville. The judge is here.
Excuse me?
The court is run through here.
Yes, I understand.
There's no judge in Manville.
I understand, but Manville had to approve a municipal judge for the Court of Manville.
There is no
Because-
Manville court. The Manville court is run out of Hillsborough. That's the shared service agreement.
There is a Manville Municipal Court, there is a Hillsborough Municipal Court, and there is a Montgomery Municipal Court.
Correct.
3 separate courts.
All run out of Hillsborough.
All run out of
Correct.
Hillsborough, but each one is a separate court. According to the agreement, each one has to have separate records. And so I'm asking how much is the judge paid by Manville, for the Manville Municipal Court?
All of the costs to run the courts for the various municipalities are shared. So there, as part of the agreement, there's a fixed fee that is provided to Hillsborough for us to run the court that both Manville would have and Montgomery would have.
$136,000 to be exact. Manville pays us.
136, and that's an increase from last year?
I believe.
That's correct.
Slight increase, and it's allocated for the next 3 years, what the payment plan is.
So when you have a resolution showing what the court officials are paid, and if you show that the judge is getting $70,000, let's say $70,000, that is total for all 3 courts?
Correct.
So when a judge was getting $60,000 for being the judge of Hillsborough and then got Montgomery and Manville added on, he didn't get any increases as far as had the increase work?
At the time we did the agreements, there may have been increases, but it was offset by the reduction of personnel that was no longer needed in the Manville and Montgomery courts.
How much is Montgomery paying for their share?
That's not part of this agreement, so
This is only for Manville.
it's
It's
only the
for
Manville.
Manville, so it's $136,000 for Manville. Now, Manville is a smaller community with smaller issues.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
So why was there an increase? Why was there an increase in how much Manville has to pay this year?
Essentially, it's to cover their portion of police personnel that cover the court sessions.
And that's police personnel from Manville?
No, from Hillsborough.
From Hillsborough?
Yeah.
So why you have to have additional police personnel?
We don't
Mayor,
have
if you'd like-
additional, they just cover their portion of the police personnel. That wasn't included in the original agreement.
Okay, all right, you're going to continue with the resolutions, yes?
We're done with the resolutions, we're going to accept them all. I just commented on 2 of them, we're going to vote on them all.
Okay, I would like to address resolution number 9, establishing the annual salaries and wages of municipal employees. I would like to get my papers that I have over here.
Thank you for your comment.
So this resolution establishing the annual salaries and wages of municipal employees states, be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, that the annual salaries and wages of the following employees are to be adjusted as listed below, effective January 1, 2019. So everyone on this list got an increase in their salary.
That's correct.
Okay. So the ones who were not listed did not get increases?
Those are essentially the non-union personnel.
Well, because I have a list from last year, Diane Borngesser, the assistant to the
retired.
township clerk.
She retired.
Oh, she retired, so that's why she's not on the list. Okay, I'm looking at this list over here. So Glenn Belnay last year received $132,637.
Ms. Janusik, do you have a comment,
He's now
or is it
getting
just a
$4,000.
question?
The question is, why
There's
are
no
there such
question.
huge increases in the salaries? You don't see this in the public sector. Why is it that so much more is being paid to township officials?
I'm not sure I follow. Those,
Okay. Let's see. Anthony Ferrera is now going to be getting $167,000, where last year he was getting $155,000. That's a huge increase. Pamela Borek is going to get $100,244. Last year she had $91,000. That's a huge increase. Now, another issue is Ms. Borek is a full-time municipal clerk for Hillsborough, yet during her full-time hours, she is a part-time clerk in Manville. How does that work?
is there an insinuation there? And that has
I'm
nothing
asking-
to do with this.
I am asking
This
a
has nothing
question.
to do with the resolution, so please ask a question related to the resolution.
It states
Because
here-
I'm not going to let you malign our
It
employees.
states here that this municipal employee is going to be paid $100,244, an increase from last year's $91,561. She is your full-time municipal clerk.
Correct.
So how does she have a part-time job during her full-time municipal clerk position here?
That has nothing to do with this resolution or her salary.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
She works full-time
How-
here, and that's her salary. If you have an issue with Manville, I know you
I
know
don't have an
who to
issue
talk
with
to in Manville.
I don't have an issue with Manville. I have an issue with these huge increases here.
And your issue is noted.
And so it's irrelevant, it is irrelevant. You choose to use taxpayer funds to give huge increases
Correct. That's what we get
to
elected
these
to do,
officials.
correct.
That's what you get elected to do?
To make
give you-
decisions.
To give yourselves huge increases.
Okay,
Thank you.
hold on. That's inaccurate,
The
first
township
off.
committee, the township
No, you just made an
committee,
inaccurate statement. Hold
The
on.
township committee-
No,
no,
you
hold
made
on.
an inaccurate
Delcourt said
statement.
to me, that's
No,
why we're
I let you
elected.
speak, and now it's my turn to speak. That's only fair. That's what you do in decorum. What happened is you just left here, said you give yourself huge raises. We did not give ourselves any raises on this dais.
Not yourselves, I said
You-
the
No,
officials.
that's exactly
The
what you just said.
officials.
That's exactly what you just said. So words matter, so we're going to be clear here. Number two, you just said at the beginning that Pam Brock was being paid $91,000 last year. That is also inaccurate. Her salary was not 91, you might have an old one, she was not paid that last year. I have the records in front of me as well. I don't know when that was from. So-
2018.
Oh, okay, I have the official record right in front of me too, so I don't know which document you're holding, and I don't care to see it right now, because I know it's not accurate. I know what it was last year. That's number two. Number three, we go through a process where we evaluate all these employees. And I can tell you, we also compare their salaries to what every other town is paying paid. We make sure we do that, and we check their credentials, and we see where they're at. I can tell you that we have some of the lowest paid employees in the area. And I challenge you to go back, you can look at these other documents and look at other towns, excuse me, and you will see that as well. We get tremendous services for what we get. And I encourage you to go back, you can compare everyone's other salaries to what other municipalities are getting, and 9 times out of 10, our guys are far behind what is being paid on the municipalities. And again, we get voted year after year to be one of the best towns in America. We get chosen by the League of Municipalities for being the best run. There's a reason why. And I wish we could pay our guys more, I really do, because they are so qualified in their field. And it doesn't always work that way, but yeah, we do give raises sometimes when it is Duly noted. So I stand by every one of those. I served as finance chair last year, and I'd be happy at some point to go over them with you if you'd like. But again, go through and you can look at other municipalities, what their people are getting paid, and you will see that our guys are consistently not at the top. Nowhere near, unfortunately.
Now, you said to me, you don't know where I got my you
I
stated.
didn't know which document you're holding, to be clear. I don't know if that was from the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, I don't know.
Okay, I had submitted a request for government records through the Open Public Records Act. I requested a copy of the 2018 records that document salaries paid to Hillsborough Township officials and employees, the resolution for 2018 salaries, and that's where I got my figure for Pamela Borick of $91,561.
Maybe my document is accurate, I will go back and check. That is
Okay.
my commitment, thank you.
And Mayor Delcourt had stated, that's why we're elected, and that's why I made my comment. Thank you.
No, what I said, well, you said, do you get, who makes the decisions on this? I said, yes, that's what we get elected, to make decisions on how we spend the money here in town. And we believe our employees are worth it. Any other comments from the floor on the consent agenda? Seeing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Abstain?
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Mayor Delcor.
Yes. This will conclude our regular meeting. We do have an executive
I'm
session
sorry,
tonight.
sir, you have a claims list.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, claims list. May I have a motion to approve claims list 2018-25?
So move, Mayor.
Second?
Comments from the dais? Comments from the floor?
Maria Janusik. There's a list here of payments made for snow removal at condos. Is that covered by the township?
In certain cases. I'd like to know what you're
Okay,
specifically
here it is.
referring to.
Here it is.
Can you state what page?
Department Condo Services Act, page 9.
Thank you.
Snow removal reimbursement.
Mayor, I'm not so sure if she's referring to the Condominium Associations Act, which requires, if you're providing public services to the rest of the township, that if they have a development, that you have to provide a contribution to them for the value of those services, because you're not providing those services.
There you go.
So that's pursuant to statute, if that's what she's referring to, but I haven't.
We don't know the answer, but we'll
I have
take it under advisement. Your comment is
Okay, because I have a claims
noted.
list here. I'm sure that someone has
Yeah.
a copy of the claims list.
Your comment is noted. We'll take it under advisement.
Okay, and there was another, if I can find it, because it's difficult to stand here and look through papers. Okay, on page 28, it says purchase of the GSA property, and Eric Bernstein was paid $812 for MEAD remediation. Is that something that the planning board attorney handles, remediation?
He's also, yes, because, well, it's a land acquisition, so he covers that as part of his responsibilities.
So that would not be the
No, Eric handles the GSA.
township attorney's responsibility?
Correct.
Answered? No.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments on the claims list? Seeing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Mayor Delcor.
Yes. Thankfully, this concludes our regular meeting. We do have an executive session this evening. Ms. Borak, will you please read the executive resolution?
Whereas Section 80 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Law of 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the Township Committee is of the opinion that such circumstances exist, now therefore shall be resolved by the Township Committee County, Somerset State, New Jersey as follows. Number one, the public shall be excluded from the here and after specified subject matter. Number two, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed as follows: personnel, data, Fritzinger, litigation, and affordable housing. Number three, the Township Committee may take official action on those items discussed in executive session upon the completion. And number four, the minutes of those discussions shall be made available to the public as soon as the nature is no longer confidential or sensitive, and this resolution take effect immediately.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor?
Nope.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Delcor.
Yes, thank you. We're adjourned. Good night.